Welcome back to Act on Mental Health, where we're learning acceptance and commitment therapy and how to improve life mindfully using ACT. Now, this is our final episode in our series, Act for Anger. I'm Sean, and today we're going to focus on practical tools for helping you take charge of your life. We'll explore assertive communication, committed action, the metaphor of driving your life bus, and help you take charge of anger. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and visit my website, seanhardy.com, for additional resources and free downloadable content. Imagine yourself as a driver of a bus called My Life, headed north toward your value mountain. Let's say that value is compassion or any other personal value that resonates with you. Along the way, you pick up some unruly passengers, blaming, critical, anger-related thoughts that your mind generates. Other passengers include feelings of pain and hurt you've encountered in your earlier exercises. These passengers are loud and persistent, seemingly bullying and frightening you as you drive along your chosen route. At some point, you realize that while you were trying to argue with these passengers and calm them down, you missed the road sign and took a wrong turn. Now you find yourself about an hour off course, headed south. What do you do now? You may feel lost, but you're not without direction. You could stop the bus and focus on getting your passengers in line, but what would it cost you to do so? Thoughts and feelings cannot prevent you from turning your bus around and heading north again towards your value mountain, unless you give them that power. If reaching your value mountain is important to you, then your task is to stay in the driver's seat of your bus and continue driving north, no matter how much noise those passengers make. Start close in. Don't take the second step or the third. Start with the first thing close in, the step you don't want to take. In the last episode, we discussed forgiveness and how holding on to old battles can keep us stuck and angry. We explored the concept of letting go to alleviate hurt and move forward. Today, we'll focus on taking committed action, a vital step in living a rich and meaningful life. Committed action involves taking effective steps guided by your values. While knowing your values is crucial, it's through actions that your life becomes rich, full, and meaningful. Values-guided action brings about a range of thoughts and feelings, both pleasant and painful. Committed action means doing what it takes to live by your values, even when it brings discomfort. Here are a few steps to consider to take committed action. First, identify an area of your life that you want to prioritize for change. Second, determine the values you want to pursue in this domain. Third, create goals guided by your values. Fourth, act with awareness and intention. And fifth, commit to action despite discomfort or resistance. To take effective action, your goal should be SMART. So when writing out your goal, consider these. First, is it specific? Clearly define what you want to achieve. Is it meaningful? Ensure the goal aligns with your values. Is it achievable? Set goals that are within your reach. Is it realistic? Ensure the goal is obtainable and within your control. And is it time limited? Set a clear time frame for achieving the goal. Identify steps and arrange them logically. Once you've settled on your SMART goal, focus on the steps to achieve them. Start with the short-term goal and divide it into smaller, manageable steps. Then, determine the sequence of steps. What needs to happen first? For example, if your goal is to change jobs and become a manager in a larger corporation, break it down to specific actions like checking job postings, networking, updating your resume, and applying to a new employer. Now that you have a goal and you've broken it down into manageable steps, let's take a look at this. How can we make a commitment and then take the step? Well, first, commit to step 1. Don't look too much at step 2, step 3, and so forth. Ask yourself, are you willing to accept the discomfort that comes with change? Are you ready to commit to your values and the changes they entail? If you are, then move forward. To help you stay on track with your goals, I've created a commitment action log for you to download and use. This tool will guide you in setting SMART goals and taking actionable steps to achieve them. Assertive communication is a style that enables you to say what you want, express how you feel, stand up for your rights, and set appropriate limits. Unlike aggressive communication, which can be confrontational, assertive communication fosters mutual respect and understanding. To respond assertively, try using the DEESC script. This method helps structure communication to be clear and effective. The DEESC script stands for describe, express, empathize, specify, and consequences. Let's break it down. First, describe the behavior or situation as completely and objectively as possible. Focus on the facts without adding judgments or your interpretation to it. For example, the last time my brother George came to visit, I cleaned the entire house all by myself. Second, express your feelings and thoughts about the situation or behavior. Use I statements to convey your perspective without placing blame. For example, as a result, I felt exhausted and angry. Third, verbally empathize with the other person. Acknowledge their perspective or situation. For example, I know you've been tired from working so much. Fourth, specify the behavior or outcome you would prefer. Clearly state your needs or requests. For example, I would like the two of us to work on cleaning the house together. And finally, specify the consequences of the proposed action, either the positive or the negative. For example, if we both work together, the house will be cleaned up faster and we can all enjoy his visit together. Or, if we work together, I will be less tired and irritable. If you'd like a handout to improve your assertive communication skill, go ahead and download the DEESC script from my website and practice writing out scripts for situations you've identified. Consider rehearsing your script before speaking to the person involved. Practicing assertive communication in advance can help you express yourself more effectively. Now think about how assertive communication can improve your interactions and relationships. What situations can you apply the DEESC script to? And how might this approach benefit you? As we wrap up this Act for Anger series, let's take a moment to reflect on the journey we've been on and the powerful tools and concepts we've explored. We started by deconstructing anger and identifying its 5 parts, exploring how our fight or flight response can sometimes lead us astray. We discussed the costs and myths of anger and recognizing how anger control can often be the problem rather than the solution. In our second episode, we assessed the costs of anger and explored how our minds create and fuel anger. We introduced diffusion as an alternative, offering ways to step back from our thoughts and choose how we respond. In episode 3, we focused on acceptance and willingness as alternatives to control. We practiced mindful acceptance and learned to embrace our experiences with openness and willingness. We also explore the concept of mindfulness in daily life and its role in managing anger. In episode 4, we talked about some important ACT concepts, such as self as context, and discovered the importance of values in guiding our actions. We engaged in the peak moments exercise to connect with our values, and we also explored forgiveness as a powerful tool for healing and moving forward. Finally, in this episode, we explored assertive communication, committed action, and the metaphor of driving your life bus. We learned how to set SMART goals and take committed actions aligned with our values, empowering us to take control of our lives and steer them in the direction that we want. That's it for this series, Act for Anger. If you're interested in some additional resources, I'll put a few of those in the description below. If you go to my website, there's a few downloads you can have. You can also go to contextualscience.org, and if you're a member, you can download the Act on Anger group resource that helped inform this series. There's also some books that you can purchase. Act on Life, Not Anger, as well as the Act for Anger workbook. Remember, your journey towards a more purposeful and mindful life begins with a single click.